Hey there everyone, it's Kaye here on the Homestead in Tennessee. How are you today? I'm doing fantastic. It's an absolutely gorgeous day, beautiful blue sky, not a cloud in the sky. And I should be pulling weeds because there are so many, and you'll hear about that in another video. But I'm not working today or yesterday. I went to see my mother, and today I'm just resting my hands. I pulled so many weeds that this hand is actually tight. It's puffy and tight. So I'm giving myself a day off weeds. My helper is got a tree job today and tomorrow. So he'll be back on Wednesday. So we're going to save it up for Wednesday, pulling a lot of weeds and doing a lot of last minute planting to get the summer garden all sewed up, all zipped up. So today I wanted to take the opportunity to tell you about a medicinal plant that you probably got growing in your yard, lady's thumb, also known as oriental lady's thumb. My plant app has it both ways. It depends on the picture as to how they identify it. It will spread out like a carpet and cover everything if you let it go. And I did last year, so all of that bloom, those tiny little, beautiful little rose, pinkish, reddish colored flowers on these little stems, well, that went to seed and that went everywhere, and now the whole raised bed garden is covered with it. So I'm having to use the weed whacker on that. But today we are going to talk about its medicinal benefits, and it helps with stomachache and also skin issues. So we are going to make a tea for stomachache, and I'm going to share a testimonial, and we're going to make a decoction. Now you've heard of concoction. I've never made a decoction, but I read about it in the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. And so I'm going to make a decoction, and that you use for skin issues. So we're going to talk about it. So I hope you'll stay tuned to the very end. I was going to say, you've heard that old expression, she let her hair down. Well, I think that meant, you know, she got kind of wild. She let her hair down. She got kind of wild. But when you see me with my hair down, it's because I'm not wearing gloves and working hard in the garden. So today we're talking about medicinal plants. Now the thing to watch out for with lady's thumb is it's very invasive. It spreads like wildfire. So I recommend if you find some lady's thumb, you isolate it in a big pot, and you just keep it in a big pot later in the summer when it starts to set seed and everything, and then you just cut it back. And I have a pot of it over there. I didn't even put it there. It wound up there. And it has really gotten beaten back in the heat. Yesterday when I came home from Nashville, it was just like laying over, dried up. And I thought, oh, that's what I was going to use to show as my example in the video. But I noticed I have plenty of fresh leaves growing down here in the garden. So we're going to collect some. You can actually eat the fresh leaves, the young fresh leaves, like in a salad. You can make a tea from the leaves. We're going to do that. And you can also make a decoction. I've never made a decoction. I've heard about concoctions, and I've made plenty of concoctions in my cooking life. If you haven't already, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. I cover life on the homestead with cats, and I'm trying to grow my own food and be more sustainable and grow more food than I need. But I want to do that just so that I can be of help to someone else who might need it. And so I have a love for covering bugs and issues and the challenges, and I have a lot of sunflowers, and I grow a lot of sweet potatoes. So if that interests you, and I do some cooking. So if that interests you, I hope you'll subscribe. Click that bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss an episode. I just wanted to mention, I'm sure you've seen this book advertised, but I highly recommend it. It's The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies by Nicole Lepellion and Claude Davis. And it's a real easy directory that, you know, identifies, it has plant identification. Although I use my app, to start with, and then I go in there. That's how I look it up. Lady's thumb is Polygonum persicaria or Persicaria maculosa. It's also known as smartweed, heart's ease. That would suggest something about your heart. Spotted knotweed or red shank. It's a broadleaf weed that's often found growing in large clumps. And I will say yes, that's true. It just spreads out, you know, in every direction from a clump. It grows in disturbed wet soil all across North America. And it's in the buckwheat family or knotweed family. There's an identification, the edible uses. The leaves and young shoots can be eaten raw or cooked. Gather young leaves and sprouts in the spring to midsummer. As they mature, they become more peppery and less palatable. The seeds are also edible, but they're small and they require a lot of work to harvest, enough to make a serving. Used as a tea, decoction, or by applying the leaves directly to the skin. I just wanted to share a little testimonial because this morning I knew that my friend Jamie was having stomach issues for a few days, and I just checked with her, how are you feeling today? And she said something about her stomach, and I said, have you tried lady's thumb tea? I sent her a picture, and she said, oh my goodness, I've just been out pulling that up out of my garden. It's for stomach pain and digestive upset. You drink a leaf tea. So I just said, you know, make yourself a tea, steep some leaves for 10 minutes and drink it. And so while we were having a conversation, she did that. You know, after about 20 or 30 minutes, we were still talking, and I said, well, how's your stomach? And she said, it's feeling better. So I just wanted to share that, because if you have stomach issues, and I mean, we have to fight off so many toxins in the air, in the water, like fluoride. Well, you really can't fight off fluoride. It's there. By the way, if you haven't checked your water department, do call them or check their website and see if they actually put fluoride in your water, because some water departments have stopped doing that. And if you're in one of those, you're very fortunate. If you are in one that does put fluoride in your water, get a group of people together and raise awareness and, you know, either vote the people out or convince the people running the show on the city council or commission, county commission, whatever, to change the rules. They don't have to use fluoride. It's not necessary. I do have a video on fluoride, so if you'd like to check that out, I'll put it right up there. So skin ailments, lady's thumb is a rubefacient and increases blood circulation at the skin's surface, supporting healing. It's also an astringent, which is like a cleaner, and you use it for poison ivy, poison oak, skin rashes, and other skin ailments. Rub the crushed leaves on the skin or put a poultice on the surface of the skin. For arthritic pain, soak in a tub of warm water containing a decoction of lady's thumb. The decoction can also be mixed with flour to form a wet poultice to help relieve painful joints. So we're going to go collect some leaves, we're going to make tea, and we're going to make a decoction. Doesn't that sound fun? Believe it or not, I am standing on a whole carpet of lady's thumb. And about halfway up it turns to nutgrass, which is just as bad, if not worse. By the way, the reason it's called lady's thumb is because there's a very faint shadow on the leaves, and boy, as soon as you pick it, they go limp. But there's it's almost like a thumbprint right there on each leaf. You know how sometimes when you press onto certain kinds of shiny leaves, it just leaves a dark little, it's almost like a greasy, you know, thumbprint. And that's kind of what it looks like right there. Right there. Well, I don't have a stomach ache, but I just wanted to see what it tasted like. So I put a little raw honey and a couple of cubes of ice, and here we go. There's really not much taste. So I would call that a win. And you know what we could do? Now, of course, you can't put lemon if, you know, that would upset your stomach more. Oh, that is very good. All right, let's get to the decoction. Okay, you're supposed to shred leaves, but these leaves are so small, I can't imagine doing that. So I'm using the herb scissors, and it's going to be a lot easier to do this if you have the larger leaves, but I picked from the leaves that were just growing back. We're just going to make a small amount today to show, and however much of the leaf you have, the crushed leaves, that's how much water you're going to put in here. So you're going to pack this down, and I've got, that's about 1/3 of a cup. So you're going to put it in here, and I'm going to get 1/3 of a cup of water. Turn that on high. Okay. I tried to get the stems out, but they're so small. These leaves get huge, and you don't want to eat them when they're larger, but I think they would be a lot easier to work with for the decoction. Okay, that's coming up on a boil. As soon as it boils, we're going to turn it down and simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, that has simmered for 10 minutes. You can see it's cooked down. Now we have to let it cool, and then we're going to strain it. Okay, while we're letting that cool off, I promised to try it, to try a leaf. I just have little ones, but I can get a taste, right? Well, it's sort of like eating kind of a piece of spinach, or it's very mild and it just tastes like a leaf. Okay, let's strain it. There's not going to be very much liquid. Like I said, I recommend you use the larger leaves. Just wait till the plant grows a little. But this is what I had today. The liquid's a little pale green. Okay. Now you can put this into your warm bath for arthritis pain, but I would think you would want a lot more than that. But since I only have a small amount, it does say that you can mix it with flour into a paste and put it on arthritis joint pain. And I thought, hey, why not try to put it on I have arthritis in this joint here. Why don't I put it on here and see if it helps a little with my pain on my hand today. So let's try it. I've got a little spelt flour here. I only use original grains, no modern wheat. So, oops, that's way too much. I need more flour. You can make up your decoction and it will keep for 3 days in the refrigerator. So you can make up a big batch and have baths for 3 days in a row. There you go. That's making me want to make bread. I'm going to add just a drop or two of peppermint essential oil because it has a very cooling effect. Oh, it smells so good. See if it sticks to my skin. Ooh, it feels good. I mean, it's swollen on the backside too, you know. I'm going to be very interested to see if this works. What do you think? I like it. Well, I hope that's been educational, inspirational, or at least entertaining. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless. See you next time.